several Philippine lawmakers are accused by China of stoking tensions between Manila and Beijing.
China now claims the Philippines broke not one but three arguments or agreements concerning the Ayungin Shoal.
The Philippines has vehemently refuted claims made by China suggesting that the two countries had reached an agreement to manage tensions at the Second Thomas Shoal in the South China Sea, dismissing these assertions as mere propaganda. A spokesperson from China's embassy in Manila had recently stated that the nations had agreed on a new model for handling tensions at the shoal earlier this year. But Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro promptly rebutted this, emphasizing that his department had no knowledge of such an agreement since President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assumed office in 2022.
Why did you keep it secret? Why is there not one single document that contains that agreement? Why is there not one shred of evidence that can show that this agreement exists? Why, when we the transition period between the previous administration to this administration, did no one mention a secret agreement? These are very simple questions, but I'm finding a great deal of difficulty finding answers for them, because I hear one thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. It's all very maraming palusot. In other words, I don't know how to translate that in English, but maraming palusot.
Teodoro highlighted the Philippines' strong commitment to protecting its claims in the waterway, particularly given that the submerged reef falls within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, but is also claimed by China. Tensions in the South China Sea between China and the Philippines have escalated, with the Philippines accusing China of obstructing maneuvers and firing water cannons at Filipino vessels during supply missions to soldiers stationed in the area. The South China Sea, a critical artery for global trade with over $3 trillion in annual ship commerce, has become a focal point of contention due to China's expansive territorial claims that overlap with those of the Philippines and neighboring nations.
面对非方船只的强行冲闯，中国海警不得不采取必要的执法措施。
中方在南海的有关活动合理合法，无可非议。
Despite a 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague that invalidated China's claims, Beijing continues to assert control over vast areas of the South China Sea. Teodoro dismissed China's assertion of a bilateral agreement as part of Chinese propaganda, stressing Manila's steadfast commitment to defending its territorial integrity and maritime rights. He condemned what he described as falsehoods propagated by unnamed or unidentified Chinese officials, reaffirming that the Philippines would never compromise its claims in the waterway. The denial by the Philippines reflects broader shifts in regional alliances, with Manila increasingly aligning itself with the United States after years of close ties with China during the Duterte administration. This strategic realignment pinpoints geopolitical considerations due to escalating maritime disputes and great power rivalries in the Asia-Pacific region. For instance, during a press conference, Teodoro emphasized the Philippines stands firm in upholding our sovereignty and territorial rights in the South China Sea. We have not engaged in any agreement with China that compromises our claims, and any suggestion otherwise is simply not accurate.
Sino bang nananakop? Sino ba ang pumupukpok sa South China Sea, no? Sa West Philippine Sea, lalo na. It is China. The Philippines is not stirring up trouble. This is the reverse of the truth. It's an absolute falsity for China to say that. And it is once again reversing the truth, consistent with its narrative. The Philippines is not stirring up trouble. As we always reiterate, our interests are to protect our rights in accordance with UNCLOS and international law, which China purports to respect. It works, but unfortunately not in deeds. And so, whatever China says about this, I think their credibility is very, very low.
The South China Sea remains a significant geopolitical flashpoint, highlighting the difficulties of managing overlapping territorial claims and safeguarding freedom of navigation. The Philippines' rejection of China's alleged agreement reflects Manila's determination to defend its sovereignty and maritime rights from Beijing's assertive actions. In a recent diplomatic forum, Foreign Affairs Secretary Maria Domingo remarked, "The Philippines reiterates its commitment to the principles of international law, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, unclose. Our stance is grounded on legal frameworks that protect our maritime entitlements. The rejection of any purported agreement with China signals Manila's commitment to international law and adherence to the 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration, which deemed China's claims in the South China Sea to have no legal basis. This legal framework forms the basis of the Philippines' stance in defending its maritime claims. Moreover, in response to media inquiries, presidential spokesperson Andrea Lopez affirmed, "The Philippines values constructive dialogue with all nations, including China. However, we will not compromise our sovereignty or relinquish our rights over our maritime territories." The South China Sea dispute serves as a microcosm of broader geopolitical tensions in the Asia-Pacific, where competing interests and strategic considerations converge. The Philippines' firm stance against China's claims reflects Manila's determination to safeguard its national interests and maritime sovereignty. In essence, the Philippines' denial of any agreement with China over the Second Thomas Shoal signifies Manila's commitment to defending its territorial integrity and maritime rights because of escalating tensions in the South China Sea. This stance highlights the broader dynamics of regional geopolitics and reflects Manila's efforts to navigate complex maritime disputes while upholding international law and regional stability. The Philippines remains open to diplomatic resolutions, but remains steadfast in protecting its sovereign rights in accordance with international norms and legal frameworks. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our in-depth analysis of global events.